Well, as the nation demands racial justice following George Floyd's death, Virginia's governor says it's time for the Confederate statues in our capital to go.
But it was wrong then, and it is wrong now. So we're taking it down.
This morning, Governor Northam stated boldly that those monuments are symbols of a racist past and can't be part of the racial healing that needs to happen in our state and our nation. 13 News Now anchor Brian Farrell is tracking this for us tonight.
Yeah, and Jenna, today Governor Northam said that the Robert E. Lee statue in Richmond will be moving. That state owns that statue. The mayor of Richmond said the city will be working to move the other statues. Richmond owns those. Northam spoke about the history of the Confederate monuments in Virginia, how they were put in place decades after the Civil War, and how they coincided with laws that suppressed the rights of black people. He says now is the time to face that. He says bringing down the symbols of the hateful past are an important step in moving forward.
From the beginning, there was no secret about what the statue meant. Through 400 years of American history, starting with the enslavement of Africans, through the Civil War, through Jim Crow and massive resistance and mass incarceration, black oppression has always existed in this country. So it's time to acknowledge the reality of institutional racism, even if you can't see it.
The governor also said Robert E. Lee himself didn't want a monument. Lee wanted to heal the wounds of the Civil War, and one of Lee's descendants joined the governor to say now is the time to do something.
To those of you who might be hedging your bets that this is not the time to do this, when will be the right time? When will it be right to address the white supremacy and racism that we have made an idol of my uncle out of?
And the Lee statue will be dismantled. It'll be stored until leaders decide what they'll do with it. People who have been calling for the Confederate monuments to come down have said they are symbols of bigotry, symbols of racism. People on the other side have said they're a part of Virginia's heritage. Philip.
Yeah, Brian, and the statues in Richmond aren't the only ones primed for change. Norfolk city leaders are working on moving the monument they have downtown. Next month, there's going to be a discussion planned about where the 80-foot Confederate monument will go. Norfolk City Council already said it wants to move the statue to Elmwood Cemetery. There are other Confederate memorials there. But the city will also consider proposals from other cemeteries, battlefields, and museums, too. People we spoke to today say either way, the statue does not need to stand in a prominent part of the city.
I think it's time for them to go. I think a lot of people agree. It's, well, way past due. Either way, I don't think it's a good symbol of what this city represents.
The public discussion about the statue will take place at a Norfolk City Council meeting on July 7th, but the earliest the statue would be able to move is August. And Virginia Beach is also working on changes for its Confederate monument. In January, we told you the city's plan to create a public park. It would be on the north side of Princess Anne Courthouse. That would feature areas to learn about the historical context of the monument. City leaders also want a piece to commemorate the city's African-American heritage, which would provide balance. Now, this plan was made before the General Assembly passed the law letting cities move the monuments, so we're going to have to wait and see if this affects the changes.